Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy XIII 2 walkthrough. I want to add one thing here really quick, which I should have put in the previous video. The first time you make the feral enemy appear, you will get a live trigger. And that live trigger results in one of two items. If you go with the funny answer, you will get the Mog Clock, and if you go with just a different answer, you'll only get, I think it's called the Dragonhide Backpack. You can only get one of those items in a playthrough. The reason being, you can't actually close the Archilt step and have it completely reset. It will basically reset, but only you'll only be able to replay events after you've defeated the feral. So again, keep in mind that that reward is literally, you have to pick one of them. Now granted, they're just adornments, so if you don't care about adornments, don't worry about it. But if you're a completionist or whatever you'd like to collect all the items, just know, I mean, number one, you won't be able to. There is one item that you will not be able to get, unfortunately. But yeah, I figured I'd try to point that out. I should have pointed it out in the previous video, but I actually didn't realize it until later. But yeah, and the reason for that is actually a lot of the events from Sunlith Waterscape 300 AF are tied into the Archilt step here, or specifically the feral, this boss that I'm about to fight. Yeah, so I don't know if they could have done it a little bit differently. But this guy, man, this guy does look I don't know, for this one, strategy-wise, I'm not even sure what I did here. I guess we're gonna find out. The reality is, I am super over-leveled. I shouldn't even say over-leveled. I just have a lot of, I have gained a lot of CP over the course of this playthrough so far. So, my characters are pretty beefy. This game is kind of interesting in that you can kind of do things like this if you take some time and really farm up CP. You will be able to take on some stuff. I don't even know if I want to say early, because there is no real chain of events. I mean, certain things are, but there's a lot of branching storyline events. So, again, you can kind of take down some of these bosses. Again, it's hard to say it, or I don't know how accurate it is to say you can take it down early, but again, if you do a bit of CP farming, you can do some kind of cool stuff really before some of the other events.
Do you think this'll fix the paradox?
Yes. Now let's head back before Snow gets himself into more trouble.
Why, are you worried about him?
What? No. Just figured you'd be itching to see him again.
If there's one thing I know about Snow, it's that he's as tough as a behemoth. I don't worry too much when he's off on his own.
You know, I couldn't do what you two do. Staying apart and doing your own thing even though you love each other. You never know when someone might disappear from your life. Take it from me, you have to make every moment count.
No.
But it's okay. I believe we can change our fate. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here.
Okay, so like I said, after the feral enemy has been defeated, we'll get our live trigger award, which in this case is the Mog's Clock. I actually went with that. Again, same reasons for the other live trigger awards. Number one is what's harder to get, because you have to do the funny answer. But on top of that, there are apparently more backpacks in the game, but the Mog's Clock looks unique. So, again, that's kind of why I went this route. Excuse me. Alright, so we'll do I did a Mog throw here beyond where the Feral was at. We weren't able
So
to
the fragment
get
was
that
causing
earlier.
the storm. The monster swallowed
But
it
now
by
that
accident,
obviously the
but it
Feral
kept
is gone,
working
we
inside it.
can throw a Mog back up
Exactly.
in there and
That's why it seemed the storm was
that,
coming right out of his
treasure
mouth.
here. So it looks like there was some sort of paradox inside the Feral's mouth, which was transporting the Flan to someone, which is interesting because that would mean that the Feral didn't actually eat any of the Flan. So I don't know. He must have been pretty hungry. He was probably starving. I imagine that would be pretty frustrating. Your food being, you know, essentially teleported right out of your mouth. Anyways, all right. So I'm not sure exactly. I think for the rest of this video, I just do a lot of kind of exploring in this area. It looks like I still haven't unlocked the Chocobos. I'm not sure what actually does that now that I think about it. I guess we'll eventually find out here, but it looks like we're still not able to ride them quite yet. So, and that's okay. So actually, I know one of the things that I need to do is I think I need to change the weather to stormy. This looks like this is rainy. I think it's stormy though, because we're gonna need to teleport or unlock the teleporter on the southern end of the map, and that'll take us over to the west side of the area. You can't actually like physically get to the other side unless you've got. I think there's a fragment skill later on which we haven't actually discussed at all. Because we're just not able to get those fragment skills yet. But fragment skills are basically if you complete certain things, it'll unlock kind of like special abilities, I guess. One of them is like I don't know if you call it like it's not a double jump, it's kind of a floating jump. Or you can kind of glide. That's kind of accurate. And that'll actually get us to the other side. Otherwise, you have to use Chocobos. The initial method is to just teleport across. So I think I do that actually in this video. The reason why I wanted to get over there was that's where the blue Chocobo is at, and I want to use blue Chocobo as a Ravager. So I've been trying to basically get that as early as I can. I didn't want to invest a whole lot of time in other Ravagers because I knew that the blue Chocobo was kind of the one that I wanted to. Now, and that might change. I think, you know, especially if I ever do any of the DLC. But I think that the blue Chocobo is a pretty great Ravager. Okay, so we got a treasure sphere here with 2 fractured horns. I assume that'll be for like weapons. The fractured horns, that is. I'm not 100% sure. That was my recollection. But anyways, yeah. So like I was saying, we'll eventually get that blue Chocobo, and I'll start actually leveling that. Now there are other great Ravagers in the game, but for whatever reason I like the Chocobos. And actually that's probably what my final, well maybe not final paradigm pack will be, but probably the one that I use for the vast majority of the game will probably be 3 Chocobos. I'll probably go with the blue one because it's a Ravager, and then I'll go with Guardian's Edge. I will go with probably one of the medics. I don't know. I haven't completely decided on what 3 I'll use. And then either probably a black or a black is the Saboteur, and then purple is the Synergist. So I'll have to decide. We'll get that figured out eventually. But anyways, so the Guardian's Edge is a I don't know. It's a weapon. I don't ever really use it for Noel, but it's got, I think it's critical protect is one of its abilities, and then I forget which synthesis group it belongs to, but I vaguely remember it being a good one. I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyways, like I said, I don't really use it that much. I actually used the Rune Edge for a very long time. It's got that ATB plus 25%, which I find really useful. Especially for just, you know, kind of fighting these trash fights. Because the fights don't last very long, and Noel's HP doesn't typically get into critical status anyway. So something like the Guardian Edge there with that critical protect or whatever it is. Again, I think it's critical protect. It just doesn't do that much good, so I don't tend to use that weapon. I'm kind of just deciding whether or not I wanted to fight these guys or not. The Buckaboos are actually pretty good enemies to fight. I think these guys drop. It's a potent material. I don't remember which one it is though. Possibly we might find out here. But yeah, they can be, they're pretty good sources of, I'm going to take a stab in some of the potent tier. Right on that. Hopefully if I get any of them to drop at the end of this battle. This looks like this is a pretty good one though, so I think chances are pretty good. Potent orb. Orb. Let me open up my inventory here. I think that's tier 3. Inventory. Monster. Components. Here we go. Nope. Materials. Potent orb. Yeah, that is tier 3. Alright. Nailed it. And actually that spot right there is a really good spot to farm them on the kind of like the southern area of the map, and I think I actually take on one of the this is what I think it is. Nope, Barbara's back. There's another enemy that's got a really good what is it? I think it's considered a pass. The Necrosis. And it looks a lot like these. It's basically the same model as the Arc Spectre. So I kind of thought that might have been what we were fighting, but not the case. It must be farther on. We'll take on some of those. But alright, anyways, I think I end up fighting one of the giant cactars here. And these are, I don't know how important it is to know this, but there's only 3 of them in the game, and they're all found here on the Arcade Steppe. Basically, you interact with these green cactar. I don't know what they're considered, waypoints, I guess. And yeah, so like I said, the 3 green ones that are on the map, you'll always fight a Gigantar. And after the fight is over, you'll always get the Gigantar crystal. Now, I don't know how. I don't think these things have like any specific abilities that are all that great. So I don't think it's all that important to know that there's only 3 of them coming up. Oops. Looks like I'm gonna retry this. Yeah. I think I tried to do this with my Sentinel instead. Find out here. But yeah, so I think I don't know how, again, I don't know how useful it is to know that all or those 3 Gigantars are the only ones in the game. I would say maybe don't infuse them, and I mean reason being because they are again limited. But also I don't think that they've got any specific abilities that are all that great anyway, so you might as well just not use them for infusions. There's better options in the game, I think. And there are some interesting abilities, specifically, what is that one? It's Pack Mentality, sorry. So Pack Mentality is an ability that increases the stats of the monsters in your Paradigm Pack as long as they're all basically the same. I think they have to have the same, what is it considered? It's the Crysarium layout. It's usually pretty easy to figure out which ones have the same layout. There's a bunch of different, like, Cactar type enemies. There's the Gigantar, there's the Metallic Cactar, there's Cactarina or something like that. It's pathetic. So those should all have the same Crysarium layout, and thus Pack Mentality will work for them. So I guess Gigantar, you know, if you wanted to go with a bunch of Cactar members of your squad, you could go that route. But I don't know that I'll actually end up doing that. Probably not. And, like I said earlier, I'll be sticking to the choke moves.
Don't hurt yourself.
You're a lifesaver.
But, alright, so anyways, these guys use obviously 1,000 needles constantly, which is yeah, I mean it's one-shotting. Well, it was one-shotting. Well, it is 1,000. Here, it's just as soon as I get my Pulse Knight back up, he's getting one shot again. It probably, I don't know, it feels like it was actually a better idea to just use my... Oh yeah, wow, I actually have to completely redo this battle. Wow. Anyways, what I was going to say is it probably was smarter to just stick to the X-Ray, my medic, and just try to heal through those needles. I mean, unfortunately, though, it looks like he's using... Oh, it's not Pain. I think Pain is the one that locks your attack command, so you just can't attack with it. Or you can't use physical damage, so I think that works for, like, you know, the Gale Strike and stuff when they use it on a Ravager, too. One of them locks your magic as well, and I don't remember which buff that is, or debuff that is. Right off the top of my head. It looks like he's able to do that, too. So the crummy thing about that is it gets to the point where if he uses that on your medic, it just basically, you know, stands there and isn't able to heal you anymore. So that can be a huge problem. But yeah, I'm not really sure why I didn't use the medic. Probably should have just used medic, and then you know, anytime its magic was getting locked, I should have used a remedy on it. Like, whatever, I YOLO'd this fight and kind of hoped for the best. But it gets bad fast, because once Noel and Sarah get into this basically one-shot range, yeah, it gets really dangerous. And here I'm just taking way too long to revive my characters. I suspect I'm going to end up using this. Yeah, this doesn't look like this is going well at all. So this would probably be a decent fight to try going for the, what is it, the accessories that have the resistances to the status effects. I'm not sure if, I'm not even sure which ones I've got right off the top of my head. I usually don't, I just don't use those type of accessories. Oh wow, we actually might, yeah, I'm going to pull this off. Wow, okay. That's that. So yeah, I just man mode it with, you know, using a bunch of Phoenix Downs. So, kind of surprised that worked out, but okay.
Did we break a seal on the monument?
It might not have been actually a bad idea to go with something like Noel or Sarah as one of their medic roles too. You know, there probably was a better way to do that, but... Anyways, okay, so that Cactar Stone's activated now, so we're not able to interact with it anymore, and it doesn't do anything else. Once I don't know when I will do it. It'll probably be, actually, There's going to be many more videos later. But eventually I will activate all of those stones, and it does result in a fragment. So, like I said, eventually we will take care of all of those. But for the time being, I'm just going to activate the one. Some goblins or moblins or whatever. Goblins this time. Generally, when you fight these goblins and what was it, the buckaboos and I think it's moblins too. Generally, I think it's a good idea to kill off all the little ones first. The problem is most of these, like the goblin chieftain here, will buff up the little ones, and they'll really go to town on you then. And then on top of that, the big ones usually have a lot more health and like a higher stagger point. So if you use up a bunch of your time trying to take down the big guy first, you know, the little ones will just tear you apart. So again, I think it's usually better to chop down all the little ones first, and then go for the big one last. Alright. There is kind of an exception to that rule, and I don't know if that's this video or not. It might be, but we're getting into a battle with here's a regular chocobo. Hopefully I'm able to get away from that in time. I don't typically like the regular chocobo. I don't think it's I don't know, it's just not one of the chocobos that I'll be using. I'll grab that treasure sphere. But anyways, I was talking about so there's a battle here it's kind of similar, where there's basically it's I think it's the Tetsudo or something like that, and the Skutari enemies. They're basically mech or whatever, mech soldiers or whatever they're considered in this game. And the Tetsudo will actually summon in and buff more of the little Skutari enemies. And actually what you want to do for that fight, and hopefully I actually get into that, and I'll actually show you kind of what you should do, is take down, in their case, actually what you want to do is take down about, I think the battles usually start out with like 4 of the Skutaris. So you probably want to take down 2 or 3 of them, but leave one alive, because once that final one is dead, the Tetsudo will just summon more, and I think it'll summon 4 more. So I don't know. It's not necessarily a waste of time to take down all the little, it's kind of a waste of time to take down all the little ones, because the Tetsudo is just going to make more. And again, the same reason, or that fight's a little brutal, is because the Tetsudo has a higher stagger point and a lot more HP. So, you know, while you're trying to take down the Tetsudo, it's going to buff the Skutari, and they're just going to tear you up while you try to take down the big guys. So, again, that's especially like if you're not or haven't farmed a lot of CP. You know, later on in the game, a lot of those strategies are going to change, and it's not really going to matter what you do, because you're just going to be able to pound through everything fast anyway. But you know, your initial times here. Yep, here we go. So this is the fight I was talking about now. Let's see how I handle this. I feel like the first one, if I remember correctly, I didn't do it right, and I should have only taken down 1 or 2 of these guys. It looks like there's 3. Yeah, so the Tetsudo uses the buff called Version Upgrade, and it does exactly what you'd expect. Well, maybe not exactly what you'd expect, but it looks like that's almost every single buff there. That's like Vigilance, Bravery, Faith, Haste, and then here it is. There's Deployment. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't do this one. I actually didn't do this fight well at all. I should have done the... Oh my gosh, there's like 6 of them now. I just saw that. And yeah, now everybody's just getting torn through. So, like I said, take down, you know, 2 or 3 of the Skutari, and then swap to the Tetsudo. And yeah, there we go. Let's just redo that. I think even this time, though, I didn't do this right. So I think I just focused on the Testudo first this time, which I shouldn't have done. But it's kind of one of those learn from my mistakes type of situation. And again, you know, later on in the game, it's just not going to matter that much. And you'll just shred all this stuff. But for the time being, it will be a little more specific. How we do this, especially this fight. This one, I didn't realize actually that he summoned 6 with that deployment ability. I should have swapped already. Yep, there's deployment again, so I did this one again.
Time to die.
Now you see Sarah already shredded, so anytime one of these little guys gets a hold of her, it's just gonna get tore up. Yep, and there we go. I tried to swap to the first one, but it was too late.
Okay.
Yeah, I might, again, this might be another one of those YOLO moments where I just kind of go for it. Sort of, nope, I don't know. This isn't looking good. Surrounded by a bunch of upgraded Skutari here. And he's got a couple of members down.
This one's mine! Get boys!
Yeah, I think this is another one of those just man-moded it kind of moments. That's what it's looking like anyway. I may pull this off. Really dirty, but you know what? Whatever. A victory's a victory. Not a victory I can be proud of, but a victory nonetheless. Yeah, looks like we got this now. But yeah, obviously could have done this a lot better. Now these, I suppose. Again, depending on what these actually drop, but this might be a good place to farm some of the inorganic monster materials. I'm not sure though. I don't know that I've ever. Wow, and I don't think I got any there. Probably because I did that battle so poorly. But maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But all right. So, anyways, I know there's a couple of treasures here that I'm gonna grab before I teleport. That yellow chocobo statue there. So again, that can only be found in. Well, you know, I'm gonna have to check for sure because I don't know if we're in rainy weather or if we're in stormy weather. Let me take a look here. Slightly cloudy. Yeah, cloudy.
Too easy.
Well, so actually I was wrong. I thought it was either stormy or rainy, but not the case. It's cloudy. All right, here's a hidden or out of phase treasure sphere. So we can grab that. We get a single one. That looks like that's an adornment. I did mess up. Well, not mess up. There's another treasure sphere down there that's in kind of like a hole in the canyon down there. It's down into the right. Yeah, from where we're at right now. I actually thought it was up above because I was looking at a map of the Arcot Steppe, and I thought it was up above. So I threw Mog up there a couple of times, thinking that I'd be able to get to that treasure sphere, but that's not the case. It is again hidden in a hole down there, and I'll eventually get that. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm gonna try, or I was trying to throw Mog up, and it actually, I didn't notice, but yeah, you can't even angle him up any higher, so you can't even really get him up onto that ridge, which is where I thought the sphere was at, but that's not the case. So then I came down here and I was looking around like, oh, where is this thing? And yep, that's as high as you can actually get Mog. So I should have known that the sphere wasn't up there, but anyways, excuse me. So hopefully I go down here. Yeah, there we go. So there's the hole. You just need to throw him inside there. Yep, there we go. And this is another adornment, I think. Yeah, woolly sheep figurine.
There you go.
So let's move on. Now, hopefully, I will teleport now to the other side, so we can actually get over there. I think that the other side too is one of the just the best places to farm CP as well as get monster materials, and actually we'll have to go over there to get the blue chocobo. But reason why I say it's one of the best places to farm materials is you can actually farm potent. I think it's crystals. It's the final material in the game, so it's a tier 5 material, and that drops from micro. And again, keep in mind though that your weather affects which enemies you fight and where. Now, I've actually noticed some incorrect information. And actually a couple of different places, especially like online. I've looked at kind of like where so a lot of the areas will say, or a lot of the areas that I've looked will say that the blue chocobo is only found in the sunny weather, and that's not true. That's actually found in rainy weather as well. They're in the same places as you find them in sunny, in sunny weather. So it's the same with the Microchew actually. Microchew. Normally, it's the places where I've looked. It's said that they're found in sunny weather, in basically the same area as the blue chocobo, but they're also found in the rainy weather. And I'll be honest, I actually prefer the rainy weather because of the other enemies that can appear in that area. I just think that that rainy weather is the way to go. So, anyways, once we're actually, the problem is we need to actually get over there first. And then we can change the weather, because as of right now, I think if I change the weather, because I actually haven't interacted, and I think I actually do this, I make this mistake where I've shown you where that yellow teleport cactar is at, but you actually have to use it once in order to have it there permanently. So what I mean is, and again you'll see this in a bit, I've uncovered it, but then I go and I change the weather, and then I try to go back and use it, and you can't, because it disappears once I change the weather. Because I haven't actually used it once. So I'll obviously be making that mistake and kind of showing you what happens when I do that. It looks like I did want to get this treasure sphere up here, and this took more times than I'm happy about. Yeah, because I just wasn't throwing him high enough, so he kept bouncing off of the kind of ramp that leads up to that treasure sphere there. But I'll get it here. Ugh. Of course! Of course, I'd have that happen. Well, hopefully I get this on the next shot. These enemies here are kind of interesting. They're actually pretty brutal. I just feel like this is the time. No way. She ended up redoing. Oh yeah, this might be it. I actually end up redoing a fight similar to this a few times. There's a really good chance that this is the one. And similar reasons to what I've had happen before, where I just probably got a little over. Yeah, wow. Let's crunch. That's it. Wow, full game over on that one. So that's pretty poor. But yeah, probably got a combination of either not paying attention or overconfident. Yeah, or just not swapping to my paradigm early enough. But all right, so I got up a little bit farther this time. I don't know if that helped, but I one-shot it, so I'll take it. I got a little bit closer to the edge there. That's actually accessible later. Excuse me. Once we get chocobos. So we'll actually be able to fly out to that little island there. On top of that little spot out there, if you want to get complete, if you want to unlock the whole map, or have the map marked as explored, you actually do need a chocobo to get out there, because obviously you can't get there on foot. I don't even know if you can get there with the whatever that floating, that fragment. It's like a glide jump. I don't even know if you can get out there with that. I would say maybe, but I actually don't know what the. For all I know, you might need to like explore everywhere before you can even get that. So, I mean, I think that's unlikely, but I could look it up if I really cared right now, but I don't, so I won't. But, all right, let's keep going here. Yeah, so alright, we've got that treasure sphere. I grabbed that one there. Unfortunately, just a lot of the treasure spheres here I find are pretty worthless. I mean, there's adornments, there's a couple of monster material, like upgrade materials. And the only one that really stands out, if I remember right, is that Guardian Edge. And that's, again, it's a weapon that I don't ever use, so it's kind of unfortunate, but there's a lot of treasure spheres out here. This area is huge, but don't really contain anything worthwhile in my opinion. So almost just get back immediately. So yeah, wow, I did a better job of changing to a different paradigm right away, but here I just get rocked. Like these things are just putting out too much damage right away for me to kind of keep up with healing. So. I was kind of surprised I even attempt this again. I feel like it's one of those battles where I probably should have just kind of went, alright, peace out. Can't handle this quite yet, so let's come back later. But I'll try one more time at least. The good thing with all of the farming that I did, trying to capture that X-ray in what is that new modem. You're gonna pick up so many Phoenix Downs there that you can kind of do kind of silly stuff like this where you just let your characters die a bunch and just use Phoenix Downs to get them back up. Eventually, I can't remember if both. Actually, it might even be both modes. Once I unlock their medic, they actually do get the ability to raise. So yeah, we won't need a bunch of Phoenix Downs forever, but for the time being, I don't even know if I've got medic on either of those two yet. So. One of the differences, though, that I actually think is kind of cool is when you do use a Phoenix Down to resurrect your teammates, they actually do come up with the protect and shell buffs. So that's kind of neat, but that won't be the case for when you resurrect them using the raise ability. So there's a small bonus to using Phoenix Downs. Wow, yeah, I just got wrecked again. So. That fight was apparently just not doable for me, or maybe having a sentinel in there would have worked out. But anyways, we're just going to forget that ever happened. This is, to be honest, my characters are not very well leveled for this area, but whatever. There's another hidden chocobo. A green chocobo, basically that's a Gigantar right there. So I think I unveil it, but I'm not actually going to fight that one. We're going to probably take care of those later once I'm a little bit more leveled. That first Gigantar fight was it did not go well. This is potentially another battle. I'm not sure if I actually finished this one or not. And kind of the same reasons as some of these other battles that I haven't been able to do. I'm not sure if I've gotten the damage to take these guys out well enough. Still here. Yeah, all three of them are still alive. To be fair, once you do get, you know, one of these even down, that helps a bit. So you're just, you know, obviously you're not going to take the amount of damage as you... Actually, this looks like you might be able to pull this off. This one's basically dead. Her HP is okay. They do wound you, so you know a longer battle isn't going to be great. But actually, I don't even know if that's the real issue with these guys. They do enough actual damage that's more threat than wound. Okay, we're back. Oh, and I've got them both staggered right there. So that's one of the great things about having, you know, your Ravagers with multi-target abilities. Is it's just easier to stagger, you know, multiple enemies at the same time, and those Pulsework Knights are, you know, that's a must. You have to get those staggered to take them down. So, anyways, we're about at the end of this video. Like I said, I'm gonna uncover this this Cactuar Stone, but I'm not actually going to fight it. Oh, there is. This enemy is kind of important here. I think this is the Cloudburst. Yeah, Cloudburst. Cloudbursts are great Ravagers. I've actually, now that I think about it, I don't know that I've ever actually used them, but there's a lot of maybe one of these days I'll actually try one out, but like I said, apparently so if you like the bomb type enemies and you want one, I would say pick that one. Again, I'm usually going off but yeah, give it a shot. And there I got lucky and actually did get one there, so that was kind of cool. So maybe I'll, like I said, maybe I'll try that sometime too. But anyways, I'm about out of time, so as always, hope the guides were helpful, and I hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.